So guess what, man? They had the AP honors, NFL honors last night. Bruh, bruh. What is this clownery? Like a lot of these I'm not mad at. A lot of these I can get behind. A lot of these are crazy as hell. Now let's start. Let's just get into some of this, okay? We'll work from the bottom up. All right. Salute the Service Award presented by USAA George Kittle. I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of this award before. I don't know how long they've been doing this. It's not one of the big awards, but I like George Kittle getting his honors. George Kittle's a real dude. I appreciate George Kittle on and off the field. He's a good dude, right? So I'm not mad at that. The Hall of Fame class for 2025: Jared Allen, Sterling Sharp, Eric Allen, Antonio Gates. I am not too aware of what guys are eligible this year, but with this group right here, I'm not mad at it. It's a nice little list. There's some good. Those are some good players. Excuse me, but I feel like they could have added more to this Hall of Fame class. Again, I don't know exactly who was available or eligible at this point to get inducted, but these four, I don't disagree with these four right now. I'll say that. Still have yet to do the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, which is weird. Doesn't that usually come out before the MVP? So I'm looking forward to seeing who that is. Moments of the year: Jaden Daniels, Hail Mary. I'll say this because I don't want to sound like a hater. There have been lots of moments of the year, I would say, this year in football. A lot of big time plays. I don't know if I could put a Hail Mary, because realistically, for a Hail Mary to be that special, it's not about the quarterback. It's about the receiver who's making the play, right? So I don't know. That to me, that's a stupid call. This Hail Mary. Like, you've seen Jamar Chase take a screen 70 freaking yards down the field untouched for a touchdown, right? You've seen Joe Burrow make the most amazing throws. You've seen Lamar Jackson make some of the prettiest runs look simple and juvenile, right? And because I don't want it to only be about the Bengals. You've seen a lot of spectacular plays that I feel will supersede, and I don't know exactly which play they're talking about, so let me not trash on Jaden Daniels too much right now. But a Hail Mary isn't about Jaden Daniels. I've never seen that spectacular of a Hail Mary. You know what I'm saying? But there have been a lot of other plays that come to mind where I'm like, how is that not moment of the year? But I digress. AP Assistant Coach of the Year, Ben Johnson for sure. I'm here for Ben Johnson. That man is gonna be an amazing head. Well, hold up. Let me let me change that, because we've seen some amazing offensive coordinators be duds as head coaches. We've seen a lot of assistant coaches be duds as head coaches. That might not be his calling. Look at what's his face? Cliff Kingsbury. Amazing offensive coordinator. Horrible head coach. What's his face from the Raiders? He was New England's offensive coordinator. I can't remember dude's name. I'm sorry, but you know who I'm talking about. Amazing offensive coordinator, horrible head coach. Uh, say what you want about old buddy from Tennessee. I think he was a good head coach, but he couldn't win anything. Forever the first number one seed, and forever getting thumped in the playoffs and getting kicked out. So we will wait to see what Ben Johnson becomes as a head coach, but definitely assistant coach of the year. I agree with that. Defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse. I don't think you can argue that. Jared Verse was a stud. A stud. Offensive rookie of the year, I definitely agree with Jaden Daniels. He was yeah, Jaden Daniels is gonna be a hard argument to beat. He was great in the first half of the year. Kind of dialed it back, picked it up a little bit the last couple games, but all through and through, I definitely agree. Jaden Daniels was offensive rookie of the year. Now here are my issues. All right, you ready? Here are my issues. Defensive player of the year, Patrick Surtain the second. How? How, Sway? And this is something I want to show y'all. I want to show y'all because it bothers the hell out of me, right? Let me get on my Google Magics real quick. The previous defensive player of the year. Let's check this out real quick. All right, let me see. And we'll do this step by step just so year by year. Okay. So not 2023's defensive player of the year was Myles Garrett. Okay? I want you to see the trend real quick. All right, so just rock with me. Whoops. How did I get to MVP or NBA? My bad, y'all. My bad. There we go. Nick Bosa, 2022. All right. I want y'all to see this trend. 21, TJ Watt. All right. Aaron Donald. All right. Stephon Gilmore. Okay. Okay. Now, I don't remember exactly. Yeah, Aaron Donald again, 28. See what I'm saying? Now, respect to Stephon Gilmore. He did have an amazing year. I don't know if, and I'd have to individually look at the stats again for 2019 and see if any of the edge rushers were hamming that year. But you see this trend when these edge rushers have amazing years, they're consistently winning defensive player of the year, right? Somebody please explain to me how how Trey Hendrickson can lead the league with sacks 17 and a half again. Again, 17 and a half sacks. Leads the league. Most dominant edge rusher in the league this year. He's not defensive player of the year. We're going to give it to Pat Surtain. Now let me not disrespect Pat Surtain. Let's see what his stats were looking like this year, right? Let me see. Oh, it doesn't say there. I wish I could look. Let's click on this. I'm sorry, y'all. Just rock with me for a minute. Rock with me. Pat Surtain. 26 first place votes, 330 points. Trey only had 205 points. Come on, y'all. What are we doing? Zach Bond was an amazing player as well. Not that he deserved Defensive Player of the Year. Surtain Island. Well, and talking about Surtain Island, how did that work against the Bengals? He had 4 picks, 11 pass defenses, a forced fumble, a recovery, a tackle for loss, 1 tackle for loss, and 16 starts. Picks against the Raiders, no quarterback. So that's my issue. This 100-yard touchdown return was against the Raiders, against either Garner Minshew, I don't know exactly who, against Garner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. Like, in the grand scheme of things, come on. Like, is that really how we're going to prop this man up? A star-studded or star showing against guys like Aiden O'Connell? And I don't want to disrespect Patrick Surtain. He's an amazing cornerback. But defensive player of the year? I'm sorry. I think not. So We'll move on from that. Offensive player of the year. Saquon. Now, I love Saquon. I don't want to hate on Saquon. He definitely deserved this award. I'll say that. Saquon definitely deserved Offensive Player of the Year. I would just like to point out there have been more 2,000-yard rushers in the history of the NFL than there have been Triple Crown winners in the history of the NFL. Jamar Chase, hands down, the best receiver all year, and it wasn't close. It was not close, y'all. Look at these stats real quick. Uno, 1,708 yards. Next in line, Justin Jefferson, 1,533. And then 1,282, Brian. It's like there's a distinct difference between what Uno was doing and everybody else. Uno had 24 more receptions than Justin Jefferson, 21 more targets, averaged 13.4 yards a carry or catch, 17 touchdowns, right? 17 touchdowns. The 70-yard was his longest reception, was that screen where he ran untouched against the Ravens. Like, he leads the league in touchdowns and receptions and catches, I believe it, right? Catches. It was Triple Crown winner. Catches, yards, touchdowns. Right? He just dominated all year. I'm not saying Saquon does not deserve Offensive Player of the Year. I'm just saying that had to have been it should have been a very difficult decision to make. I don't know if it was or wasn't. They might have already said Saquon won, but I'm noticing a trend that I don't like. Maybe it's because I'm just a fan. Some people might say I'm biased, but so far, two Bengal players have been snubbed in positions where they're dominantly the best. In categories, they're predominantly the best, right? Let's keep going. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow. Shout out Joe Burrow. He deserves it after that injury-ridden season last year. He keeps saying the hands affecting him. You couldn't tell the way he was playing out there this year, but I feel he deserves this award. I'll say that. Joe Burrow deserves this award. I feel like it was a slap in the face. They gave him Comeback Player of the Year so they wouldn't have to give him MVP. Because again, there was not a better player on the football field at any position than Joe Burrow was this year. You can't argue that. You can't. I'm sorry. You can't argue that. But we'll talk about that more when we talk about the MVP. Next up, Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell. I'm not mad at Kevin O'Connell's pick because you didn't know what you're going to have at quarterback after you get rid of Boogie Cousins. And to have Sam Darnold play the way he played and put these guys in the position they were in all year, not counting playoffs. I don't want to disrespect them. Throughout the regular season, it's hard to say there was a better team than the Vikings this year. Say what you want about the Lions. I get it. The Vikings were special offensively and defensively. So, much respect to Kevin O'Connell. I agree Dan Quinn should have been in the conversation as well. Dan Campbell should have been in the conversation as well. But I do agree Kevin O'Connell deserved to win that award. The way he flipped that team this year. Nobody expected what they got out of them this year. Nobody saw the Vikings with that record playing at the level they were playing at for the majority of the year. So yeah, I'll give that to Kevin O'Connell. I accept that. MVP. What? Why? How? How, Sway? How? There's nothing Josh Allen did this year that makes me say he deserved MVP. And I love Josh Allen. He's my second favorite quarterback. Nothing Josh Allen did at all year said he deserved MVP. Now, I don't want to hate on him too much because I love Josh Allen. Nobody expected that team to be as good as they were without Stephon Diggs or without Gabe Davis. A lot of that defense was gone. Like, I get it. I get it. MVP, though, I'm not seeing that. I'm not. And to prove my point further, let's check these stats. Shit, excuse me. I'm sorry. All right. Leading the league in passing yards with 4,918 yards. And please believe if T. Higgins wouldn't have got hurt week 18 against the Steelers, he would have had over 5,000 yards. I promise you that. But that's neither here or there. 4,918 yards, Joe Burrow. Next is Jared Goff with 4,629. Then Baker Mayfield with 4,500. Geno, 4,320. Sam Darnold, 4,313 or 19. Lamar, there we go, 4,172. Where the hell? Josh Allen's 14th with 3,731. Okay. All right. Let's look at touchdowns. Joe Burrow's in the lead for that as well with 43. Then Baker Mayfield and Lamar tied at 41. Jared Goff, 37. Sam Darnold, 35. Josh Allen, 7th with 28. Okay. Interceptions. We'll go to interceptions. Joe Burrow has 9. All right. Lamar only had 4. Josh had 6. So Joe had more interceptions, but there's not that much of a difference between, like, yes, it's at least 5 more than Lamar, 3 more than Josh Allen, but they're still pretty close. But you're going to say this man who's statistically worse than the top 2 quarterbacks in our division deserved MVP more? Like, if Lamar won, I would have been pissed off, but it would have made sense because Lamar was on fire this year, right? Lamar played his ass off this year. This is the best I've ever seen Lamar Jackson. But still, I could respect Lamar being picked MVP. Is this a pity pick? You just didn't want to give it to Lamar again, so you give it to Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen statistically didn't measure up to either of those two? Shit. If you would have said Baker Mayfield, I would have been okay with that over Josh Allen. And again, because I love Josh Allen. But Baker's 3rd in yards, touchdowns. Let me see. Baker's 2nd in touchdowns. He's got 16 interceptions. I think that definitely hurts him. But he's still outplaying Josh Allen. You want to say the records why the Bills did so, or why Josh Allen was picked? Okay, but if his stats are this low compared to all the other guys, then obviously his team's not as bad as we thought they were. I could accept a lot more. Josh Allen was not the pick for me. It makes no sense. I don't agree. I dare I say hate that pick. I hate it a lot. But that's just my feelings. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Excuse my congestion. I'm getting over a cold. A lot of these I'm okay with. A lot of these are awful picks and they make no sense. Pat Surtain, Saquon I'm okay with. Saquon I can accept. Although I do believe Jamar deserved it more. But that's neither here or there because Saquon's an animal. MVP, hell no. Moment of the year, what? That's it. That's all I got. I'm sorry. I'm in my feelings, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Let me know if you would change any of these picks out. Who do you think deserved it? Who do you think didn't deserve it. Let me know in the comments below. That's all I got for today. Love and appreciate it. That's one of you guys. Until next time. Peace.